Wedding season is fast approaching, and as couples plan their special day, it often comes with navigating a maze of decisions, emotions, and logistics. But one individual emerges as a beacon of support. Joining us is the founder and creative director of Elizabeth Elkins Wedding and Events. Let's welcome Elizabeth Elkins herself. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to ask you, I feel like when people get engaged, they're like, okay, where are we going to get married? The venue is the most important. What do you think is the most important first step that couples should take?
I always tell people that to hire your planner first. So usually when people get engaged, the first thing they want to do is book their venue, which is a really exciting part of the process. But there's so many things that go into getting a venue that clients don't always think about. Each venue is different, what they provide, things like rentals, like tables and chairs, if they have a food and bev minimum, if they need lighting, if they have good Wi-Fi, things like that. And some of those things can affect your budget. So I always like to tell people to get a planner.
And now, what do you think are the most challenging components of planning a wedding, from the wedding planner perspective, but also what you see couples deal with the most?
A lot of the stress I see comes from vendor communication, so all the back and forth and all those small details that kind of coincide with that. So as a planner, that's something that I handle for my clients, so they get to kind of plan the fun parts and not have to deal with all the stressful parts. Yeah.
And now, what are some popular trends you're seeing for this wedding season?
So I love wedding trends. There's so many fun ones right now. I always do like to preface with my clients to just say, trends are really fun, but just to make sure that you err on the side of caution and don't have too many trends, because you want to make sure you can look back on your photos, in 30 years and make sure you don't cringe. You're like, oh my gosh, that was, But my favorite trends right now are bows everywhere. We do bows on champagne coupes and tie them on the stems. In bridesmaids' hair, incorporated in the dress, bows everywhere, fun. Champagne towers are really fun.
Those are so fun.
Yes.
Those are so fun. And now, Charleston is one of the top wedding destinations. I know it's second to Vegas, and does Vegas even really count?
Right.
I don't know. But so how far in advance should someone, reach out to you?
Yeah, so typically it's about a year out, but I could take clients before that, and I've taken a little bit after, but it really does depend too on when you're getting married. So spring and fall tend to book up really fast for vendors, so reaching out to a planner as soon as possible if you're getting married on those dates, especially on a Saturday. Okay. Saturdays get booked out very far in advance.
Yeah, that makes sense. And now I do want to ask you, Elizabeth, before we leave, what sets you apart from other wedding planners and events in the area?
Yeah, so I'm actually from here, born and raised, so I kind of pride myself on that. I know the area very well. I also grew up in a very big blended family, so I feel like I can relate to a lot of people, and I love really getting to know my clients and bringing out their uniqueness into some design and decor in their wedding.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Elizabeth. Well, we can reach out to you at ElizabethElkinsEvents.com.
Yes.
And it's not just weddings, you also do events as well, right?
I do, yes.
All right, perfect, Elizabeth. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and love is definitely in the air.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We're back after this.